Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. She stood up, but I'm not rearranging my shelves today, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm doing something a bit new. So something I like to do is, when I'm deciding whether or not to read a book, I like to read the first line and see what I think of that first line. I thought this would be a great opportunity to have a look at some books on my shelves that otherwise get forgotten, because when I was sorting out my bookshelves, I was like, God, I don't remember getting that. God, I don't remember getting that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a first line battle. So each of the colours of my books, because they're arranged in colours of the rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. We'll call this section peach, white, grey and black, plus library books. I'm going to, oh no, I won't include library books because this is supposed to be about reading books on my shelf. So in each of these videos, and maybe I'll do one once a month, maybe I'll do one sort of every other month, I will work my way through the colour of the rainbow and battle the first lines against each other. So for this first video, I'm going to take the first red book, the first orange book, the first yellow book, the first green book. You get the point. The only thing is if the book is a sequel, I will skip it. So if the book is a sequel, I'm not going to pick up the second book in a series, am I? So I will skip it. So we're going to go work our way through it. I'm going to read the first line, then we're going to battle it against the next book, see if what one I think is better. Whichever one I think is better will stay on, the other one will be returned. We're going to work our way through. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 first lines we're going to hear and battle them against each other. So there will be one book. The prize for that book, I ask? Well, it will get added to my TBR for next month. So this book that will win today will get added to my February TBR. So shall we get kicking with the first red book? So the first red book is The Eye of the Beholder by Maggie Orford. Not going to look at the blurb, I'm just going to read the first line. The first line says, it's one word. If the first line is one word, we'll move on to the second word. Cora. Maybe he shouted after her. I mean, it's not giving much away, is it? But that's the first line of The Eye of the Beholder by Maggie Orford. Margie Orford, sorry. So my first orange book is Feminism Interrupted by Lolu Olufemi, Disrupting Power. Let's have a look. This is the introduction. Feminism is a political project about what could be. That to me is a better first line than The Eye of the Beholder. Feminism Interrupted stays on. Now the first yellow, so this would be what do I do about rereads? No, I'm going to skip also any book that I've read. So the first yellow book is Plain Bad Heroine, so I'm going to skip that. The second yellow book is Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope, which is the sequel. David's mum bought me that for Christmas and I need to get the first one before I read that. So we're going to go on to the next book, which is The Return of Faraz Ali by Imina Ahmed. This only came out last year. So this is set in the prologue. London, February 1943. It was said, or so he had been told, Fatima, beloved daughter of the Prophet, had not felt the heat of the fire as she stirred a pot of simmering halva with her hand. Not a bad line, but I think I'm still interested in the first line of Feminism is a political project about what could be. So Feminism Interrupted stays on. Green book is the first in a series. This is also a series that David's mum bought me for Christmas. She bought me the first two. This is The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. This is the Cazalet Chronicles. And this is volume 1. And as I said, I already own volume 2. I'll skip the introduction. We'll get straight to the big stuff. Here we go. Oh, it starts with a family tree. That's exciting. And then some characters. So this says Lansdowne Road, 1937. The day began at 5 to 7 when the alarm clock, given to Phyllis by her mother when she started service, went on, off and on and on and on until she quenched it. Like that a lot, that's staying on. We return Feminism Interrupted. We move on to the blue books. The blue books start here. Oh, I'll put that there. The first one is the first in a series again. It's A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dubois. This is the first book in the Mirror Visitor series, and this is YA translated from the French. Here we go. It starts, fragment. In the beginning, we were as one. No, I'm going to keep the light years on. Then purple is Weathering by Lucy Wood. Arse over elbow and a mouthful of river. That's a good first line, isn't it? Arse over elbow and a mouthful of river. We're keeping that. So the light years gets returned. Weathering by Lucy Wood stays on. We are after the pink books. The first in the pink books is a book by Tom Allen called Too Much. I read Tom Allen, so this is a memoir of Tom Allen's. I read his first one, Shame, all in one day, basically, on New Year's Day. So I will start with the introduction here because it's all non-fiction. We were never the sort of family to have something like this happen because, aside from anything else, we were the sort of family who had always been very much alive. That's also a good first line. What's better, that one or arse over elbow and a mouthful of river? Arse over elbow and a mouthful of river. That's still there. That's still there. Next up is the peachy sort of colour section. Before we move on to the white section, and the first one is Wolfsong by TJ Klum. Big, isn't it? Imagine if this swings. Here we go. Motes of dust, cold and metal. I was 12 when my daddy put a suitcase by the door. It's not a bad first line, I'm enjoying it, but I still think arse over elbow and a mouthful of river. I think that might be hard to beat, you know. The first, oh. The first white book, I've already got a book of this author's on my TBR for next month, is Salt Slow by Julia Armfield, and I've already got Our Wives Under the Sea on the TBR for next month. So let's see if this is going to beat Weathering and become the second Julia Armfield book on the TBR. Mantis. I Have My Grandmother's Skin. No, still arse over elbow. We're still into arse over elbow. Then we've got grey. Oh, okay. So the first grey book is a Persephone book. Now, when I was tidying my shelves, I said, if these 5 Persephone books are still here when I do this sort out next year, they're going to charity because I've had them for so long. So could this be the moment? This is called Still Missing. And this book appeared on Jen Campbell's favourite books of 2022. So let's see if we like the sound of this. You could hardly get to age 34 without learning something about loss. It's a good first line. I'm keen to read this because Jen loved it so much, but I still think arse over elbow and a mouthful of river is the winner. So that's going to go there. Then the last challenger for Battle of the First Lines against Weathering by Lucy Wood is the first black book, and it is Bad Gays, A Homosexual History, non-fiction. This is by Hugh Lemmy and Ben Miller. Obviously, it even comes with its own bookmark, guys. But it's all based on, it's not based on bookmarks, it's based on first line. So, we'll go for the first line of the introduction. In 1891, Oscar Wilde's star was on the rise. It hasn't beaten Arse Over Elbow and A Mouthful of River. So, the winner, very worthy, I think. I think that was probably the best first, well, it's a really, really good first line. And what will be going on my TBR for next month is Weathering by Lucy Wood. Should we celebrate with the second line of the book so we can get a feel for it? Arse over elbow and a mouthful of river, which she couldn't spit out. That'll be added to the TBR next month. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you think this is a format that you might quite like to watch every month. Next month I'll go on to, if we think it's worked all right, we'll go on to the second red book, the second orange book, the second so on and so forth, and see how we get on. I quite enjoyed doing that. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!